Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we talked with local health officials to learn what sets coronavirus apart from other contagious diseases like the flu.
And a heartwarming story out of Breathitt County, where one little girl used her birthday as a way to help animals in a local shelter.
Then we take you to Letcher County, where another tale of generosity, this time in the classroom, is making waves on social media.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 5:32 on February 28th. I'm Madison Pergram.
And I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning on this Friday.
On this Friday, there's some snow possibly coming. Will, how excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
11, especially because I slept in yesterday and missed any of the little bit of snow that we got.
Let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, that sounds like a problem that he should have woke up earlier.
Yeah, it was very icy yesterday morning in a lot of areas.
Attacked.
It was really kind of slick yesterday morning. So far, so good this morning, but some snow showers are starting to build in. Live pinpoint Doppler radar. We're seeing some of those out to the west and to the north this morning, but they will start to spread out. And if you get a decent band of snow coming down, roads could get slick quick. So just be careful out there this morning on your morning drive. Temperatures a little bit warmer in some areas. The warmest spot in the region here in Hazard at 36, still cold enough to snow, but again, you'd like it to be a little bit colder than that if you're like Will Puckett and you want to see the snow actually stick around for a little bit. But here's the thing, temperatures are going to climb today. It's already a few degrees warmer than it was this time yesterday morning, and they will get close to 40 in some areas today. So anything we have early will melt and transition back over unless you stay a little colder. Some of those border counties could stay a little colder today, and we'll see again there's more chances for snow come back into play tonight. I think that's your best shot of seeing something on the ground as we head into the overnight hours. We'll have the rest of that forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Look, don't complain, okay? This is our one flash of snow for the year, and then it's going to be sunny and 75 the rest of the way. Just let me have this one
I'm not complaining. Okay? I don't mind the snow.
Good. See, that's why we keep Madison around. Well, let's get back to it. Congress is hashing out a funding plan to respond to the coronavirus as California deals with what could be the first case of community transmission of the deadly virus.
Some public health officials in eastern Kentucky were in Frankfort Tuesday to hear about the state's plan of action.
WYMT's Lacey Roberts spoke with health officials and a concerned business owner in Perry County to get more clarification on the virus and the concern it has caused.
Much like the flu and the common cold,
coronavirus is a respiratory illness.
Symptoms are similar, just more severe. Here in Perry County, public health officials are prepared. They have an all-hazard preparedness plan.
If we can do anything in public health, it's really to try to help calm that panic and get the factual information out there.
Panic, stemming to business owners like Sheena Grogan, co-owner of Oak and Willow. Concerns the coronavirus could pass through shipping.
Preparing for spring, we were getting upwards of like 20 to 40 packages a week. We're not like a big corporation like Amazon or, people who ship mostly internationally.
And those concerns were addressed.
There's no indication it can be transferred, through packaging or things of that nature.
A weight lifted off her shoulders.
I think it'll help reduce the panic and, people don't have to worry as much whenever they buy locally.
So how can you prevent yourself from getting any type of respiratory illness? Frequent hand washing.
We cannot stress enough how important it is that everybody washes their hands, and typically most people don't wash their hands thoroughly.
Washing your hands for at least 20 seconds with soap and water. If you cannot wash your hands, use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. And leave the masks at home.
The only thing that does is create shortages for healthcare providers and those that really need them.
Seeing a doctor is the only way to diagnose your true illness. In Hazard, Lacey Roberts, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, while there are no confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Kentucky, there are a few people being monitored because of their recent travel overseas. The local health department and Department for Public Health are working with them for any further action if necessary.
And state legislator John Bam Carney is still in the intensive care unit at Norton's Hospital in Louisville, but his family says he is doing better. He was hospitalized before Christmas with a severe case of pancreatitis. A family member posted on Facebook this week that Carney passed a swallowing test and was able to drink water for the first time in 65 days. He also had a chest tube taken out and his kidneys are now working as they should. His family says the doctors are still monitoring an infection and they are thanking everyone for the continued prayers and support.
Perry County is getting a new economic development director. Zach Lawrence will begin his new role on March 2nd. Lawrence is from Harlan County and most recently served as a project manager at the Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development. This is the result of partnership between the Hazard-Perry County Economic Development Alliance and One East Kentucky.
And as Kentucky claws its way out of the drug epidemic, thousands of people who are recovering from addiction are left trying to find a place to live and a job.
Yeah, they're looking for a second chance, but who will hire them? WKYT's Sam Dick talked with one woman who is in on a mission to change the culture in workplaces and open the doors to people rebuilding their lives.
Like this week, I've been to Ashland already. I drive a lot. Henderson, Kentucky, and Covington, Florence, Hazard, Prestonsburg.
Ashley McCarty is on the road several days a week with a message of hope, survival, and a better future.
I think of the people that are going to be out in the audience and the stigma that I have to crush and the barriers I have to break and the walls that have to be torn down.
Hired by the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce last summer, she speaks to business owners, managers, and community leaders about making the workplace more recovery-friendly to people climbing out of addiction. McCarty has lived that hell.
6.5 years ago, I was living in my car.
On the drive to Pikeville, where she's giving a presentation, she's very honest with me about how far she fell and the long climb back.
I grew up in a 5,000 square foot home, driving nice vehicles and everything, and then I went to living in my car using the bathroom in a bucket.
McCarty graduated from EKU, took a pharmaceutical sales job that included a car, a company credit card, and a six-figure salary. But a couple of surgeries led to abusing pain pills, and then cocaine and meth. She was fired from the sales job after trying to kill herself with pills. Eventually homeless, she was arrested and ordered to rehab.
I was accepting of my life at that point in time, but now I look back and think of what I'm doing today, and I can't believe where I'm at. It gives me cold chills thinking of where I'm at today. I get up every day excited to go to work.
McCarty looks every bit the professional, and her audience is usually shocked to find out she was an addict.
You see a victim, and I see a survivor. You see her, and I see me. It's me. And then when I tell them and I find out, and they find out, it's just, I can see the stigma being chipped away just a little bit at a time.
McCarty and the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce offer free help to these employers. Each person at the presentation fills out an assessment card to help them figure out where they may need help in hiring, treatment, recovery, and prevention. It's part of the Chamber's opioid response program for business.
I don't think you can be anywhere in the country and not know someone or be related to someone that has struggled with addiction, whether it's publicly or privately. So I think it's really important for everyone, especially employers, to know how to help those people and work with those people.
When McCarty was going through addiction struggles before she was fired, she says her employers never asked, "Can we help? Is there something wrong?" Part of her new mission is bringing more light to the addiction epidemic and encouraging people who hire to show more compassion and understanding.
I'm just fighting this battle so that everybody can get a second chance, those who deserve it. I'm just so grateful and so blessed and so humbled to be able to speak in front of people and share my story and hopefully help somebody. Because I always say whenever I write my story or tell my story, I want somebody to look at me and say, because of you, I didn't give up.
Such a great story. Well, the Appalachian Pregnancy Care Center hosted its 7th annual Banquet for Life last night. The luau-themed event was all about celebrating family and the community. The event, according to Executive Director Kay Hammond, was the largest event the center has hosted. She says that is because of the people who support the center and its growth.
When we first started the Pregnancy Center, we had no idea that we would be serving this many people. But God's got His hand on the Pregnancy Center. He has blessed us, and we're just loving every minute of it.
The event raises money with a silent auction and a live auction. Belfry High School's choir performed and students from across the region volunteered at the event.
A little girl in Breathitt County had one wish at a recent birthday party: to help animals.
I talked with the girl's family about that unique request and how exactly they hope to help. Normally at a 5-year-old's birthday, blowing out candles is a wish for toys, but Jude's wish was a little different.
She had the idea to have a party, and instead of getting presents, she wanted to do something for the animals.
Dog food.
She said, let's get them to bring dog treats and dog food for the animals, and we'll take it to the shelter for them.
And her wish came true.
She collected over 100 pounds of food and about 40 pounds of treats and a basket full of toys. Never expected to get anything like that.
Then taking her gifts to Gorgeous Grooms by Helena to be delivered to the Pet Food Blessing Box in the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter.
That was a big surprise, and it was wonderful.
But the real surprise is how big a 5-year-old's heart can be.
I don't know many children who would say, instead of giving me a toy or, clothes or something, let's get something to help the animals.
Giving to something bigger than herself.
A big dog again.
She loves animals, absolutely loves any kind.
Woof, 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 woof.
She's real happy, so we'll probably be making a trip to the pound before long to take some more stuff.
Making an impact one wish at a time. Now, if you are interested in donating animal items and do not want to make a stop at the Blessing Box or animal shelter, you can drop them off at Gorgeous Grooms by Helena.
That story is going to leave a smile on my face for the rest of the day. Well, one student at Letcher County Central High School is getting attention around the world for his selfless act. His teacher, Winston Lee, is the head coach for the basketball team. But it's not what happened on the court, but by his 11th grade student, Brandon Caudle, in their history class. Brandon had earned 5 bonus points, but instead of using them on his own test, he asked if they could be used for another student, the student with the lowest grade.
Totally random and totally selfless, just that he was willing to give away something that he had earned and voluntarily giving those away to somebody that may need them.
Man, I wish some of my former classmates in math would have done that for me. We'd have been flying high. Well, Lee posted Brandon's message to Facebook. It has hit nearly 100,000 likes and more than 60,000 shares. He said most of the feedback is positive.
Well, later on Mountain News this morning, seagulls are known for being a bother at the beach, but new research shows we may actually be the reason why.
February ends this weekend, but winter isn't giving up just yet. I'm tracking snow and cold temperatures in about 3 minutes.